Ya, sudah Pak. Silakan.
Okay, thank you, Bu Emma. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll start the course of the aircraft aerodynamic and flight performance. Yeah, we will be taught by several docents. My name is Muhammad Agus Mulyadi, and Pak Oni, Pak Endarko, Bu Emma. Okay, please Pak Oni, Pak Endarko, dan Bu Emma, introduce yourself to the student.
Okay, Pak Oni.
Good afternoon, Pak Agus, Bu Emma, Pak Endarko, and all students. Thank you for the introduction. Greetings to you all students. I hope you will have some good times learning about the aerodynamics and flight performance with us. And I will teach the flight performance on the second part of this course. Okay, that will be all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Pak Endarko, please.
Okay, thank you, Pak Agus, Pak Oni, and Bu Emma, and all of the students. My name is Endarko. As Pak Oni said, and I and Pak Oni will teach this course in the second part, that's in the flight performance part. Okay, nice to see you then. Thank you, Pak Agus.
Good, thank you. Yes, Bu Emma.
Okay, good afternoon. Hello, everybody. My name is Emma. I belong to Flight Physics Research Group. I will teach you on week 4 and 5 in aerodynamics topics, and please enjoy your time with us in this lecture. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, also you will be assisted by several assistants, yeah, Mr. Farid and, Mr. Danika, yeah.
Danika.
Okay, please introduce yourself, Danika, to the student.
Okay, hello, my name is Danika. I will become the assistant for aircraft aerodynamics part. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we will start with the talk about the cost contract here of the aircraft performance, aircraft aerodynamic and flight performance. Yeah, we'll have 15 weeks. Yeah, we'll have 15 weeks, and they will be divided into two parts. First is talk about the aerodynamics. Yeah, maybe. So we'll deliver the course in first week, second week, and third week, and Bu Emma will deliver the course from the fourth week until sixth week, and Pak Endarko and the Pak Oni will deliver remain course.
Pak Agus, and actually there is a newer file. Can I present it? I will share screen and you explain, because there is newer version.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Please stop share. I will share and you explain.
Amen.
This stop share dulu.
Amen. Stop screen, ya. Stop sharing.
Yes, because it's last minute. Okay, I will.
I don't know this change about the last minute.
Okay, sorry. This is last minute change. Okay. Please, Pak Agus, here. This one.
Which one? Cannot see here.
Udah bisa kelihatan, Pak? Can you see my slide?
Not yet. Moment, Bu Emma. I cannot see.
Yep.
It's a moment. I cannot see yourself. Presentation. Maybe the Aircraft. Why can I see? Yeah, I can see. Yeah, okay, Bema.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. Yeah, next Bema. Yeah, the week 7 until 15 yeah, will be delivered by Pak Oni and Pak Endarko. Yeah, talk about the flight performance. Yeah, he will. Okay, Bima. Then next. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about the scoring and create a role of this course. Yeah. Okay, the assignment 1. We will have the two assignment. Yeah. Each assignment will be scored in the range of 1 until 100. There will be tutorial and 1 quiz during the aerodynamic parts. And also the assignment 2, the score will be range 1 until 100. And there will be 4 quiz for the flight performance parts. And final score and grade will be combination between assignment and 1 quiz and assignment 2. Okay, next, this is a reference. The main reference is aeronautics and flight mechanics. The author is Bernes McCormack, yeah. And then several others reference that can be used for this class. Okay, next. Thank you. Okay, then we will. Okay, I will present the
Yes,
wizard next.
please.
Overall. Yeah. Yeah, I will give you the wizard. Yeah.
Before you start the course, maybe there is there is a question or some questions from
related to the
about
cost
the
contract.
contract.
Yeah. Okay, if any question related to the cost contract, please. It may be you not agree with the contract I have already mentioned before. We can have any decision to decide on this contract. Yeah. Are you agree with this contract? Anybody agree with this contract?
Maaf Pak, izin bertanya Pak.
Ya silakan, ada pertanyaan silakan.
Mungkin ini lebih ke ini sih Pak, ke jam kuliah. Ini kan untuk hari Rabu ini itu kelas 9 jam 3, terus nanti nyambung lagi aero jam 5 sampai jam 6. Nah itu tuh mungkin ada beberapa dari kami yang mau sholat asar tuh gimana ya Pak untuk waktunya Pak?
Ya kita buat keputusan bersama ya. Kita mulai, saya juga ini akan sholat juga ya. Baik, mungkin sebaiknya gimana ya, Bu Emma, Pak Oni, Pak Endarko, ada usulan ini?
Masing-masing aja Pak sholat, kalau kata saya sih. Jadi ya kejujuran aja, sholat berapa menit gitu, lalu gabung lagi gitu. Menurut saya seperti itu aja. Jadi nggak usah dikhususkan ada waktu, karena kan asalnya sekarang tanggung Pak setengah jam 3.20 dan mungkin ada yang di mana di Indonesia Tengah atau Indonesia Timur gitu.
Oke. Ya. Jadi yeah, I will give you a chance to study yourself for praying. You can take maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, leave from the course, yeah, and then back to the course again. Okay. Ada lagi pertanyaan? Any question? Or question? Ada pertanyaan lagi nggak? Baik, kalau nggak ada, I will continue from the next slide, the next presentation. Yeah, before I discuss in more detail about the lecture, I will give you the overall view. Yeah, maybe Pak Oni and Pak Endarko may give any some addition about this overview. I will first explain about the overview. Yeah, this lecture will be divided into part: aircraft aerodynamic and flight performance. Yeah, in aircraft aerodynamic, you will study about the geometry of the aircraft. Yeah, the various part of the geometry of the part of the aircraft, including the wing, fuselage empennage, and the shapes of each of component, each of part of the aircraft. Yeah, and then I will explain about the influence, the effect, the interaction between the air and the surface of aircraft in producing the lift, drag, and moment of aerodynamics. Yeah. You can see in the figures here. Yeah, there is the aircraft when this configuration interact with the airflow. The aerodynamic forces, lift and drag and moment will be produced. Yeah, the lift will be used for overcome the weight. Yeah, and then drag. If you know the drag, you will know how much the thrust, the engine thrust is required to overcome the drag, and also the moment. Yeah, there is three moment for this aircraft. Consider of the rolling, yawing, and pitching moment, and then in more detail, yeah, you will study about the airfoil, the section, cross section of the wing. Yeah, the airfoil shapes. The geometry, which is the lift, drag, and moment. Yeah, is influenced by the cross section wing, namely the airfoil. Yeah. The shape of the airfoil will influence the aerodynamic moment and force. The other factor that influence to the aerodynamic moment, force and moment is the Mach number, Reynolds numbers, and also the attitude of the aircraft, including the angle of attack and such slip angles. Yeah, and you can look at this airfoil. When the airfoil is flowing through it, the air, yeah, it will generate the streamline, and this streamline flow, you can see, will produce distribution of pressure on the upper and lower of the airfoil. Yeah, when you integrate the pressure distribution over the upper and lower airfoil, you will have the lift and drag, lift and of the aerodynamic, and you integrated the shear stress along the airfoil, you will have the drag also for when you integrating the pressure. Okay, with the pressure distribution along the airfoil, you can draw in terms of the pressure cohesion, shown by the right color line and dot. This is the safety and experiments results. You can see at the certain angle of track and shape of airfoil will generate distribution of pressure cohesion for the upper surface airfoil and lower surface airfoil. And you will learn about the lift distribution along the aircraft on 3D dimensional flows. When you study for the 3-dimensional flow, you will know about the lift distribution and also the tip vortex. What affect the tip vortex to the induced track, induced velocity, and then the induced velocity will provide the induced track. This track is one type of the track generated for the 3-dimensional configuration of flow. Okay, when you have the lift, track, side force, moment, and then this lift at this certain attitude, there will be influence to the flight performance. You can maybe Pak Oni and Pak Indako can explain about the part of flight performance. Pak Oni. Okay, I will explain to you. We have already in aerodynamic parts, we have already predicting the aerodynamic and moment aerodynamic. The aircraft during the flight, with the attitude of the aircraft during takeoff, landing, to takeoff, climb, cruise, and then design and landing. The aircraft will have the several attitude, and also have the control surface deflection. For example, for during takeoff, during takeoff, in the aircraft for getting the additional lift for lifted aircraft during takeoff, the some flap is deflected to get the additional lift. So the deflection of the flaps, will change the flow of the aircraft. Will influence to the aerodynamic performance of the aircraft. So we will start explaining the profile of the aircraft, and then we in the flight performance will be discusses each of these part of flight mission of the aircraft, from the takeoff, climb, cruise, descent, and landing. You can see here on the climb performance, you can there is some strategy to climb, to have the maybe the best climb, short times of climb, and some technique to climb. And during the climb, what's happened with the required power here? What the speed should be happen when the aircraft is in climb. For the climb, it is required the excessive power. Excessive power. That is the we said the delta between the power available and power required. The max for the climb, it is better for the claims, it is that the speed of the aircraft is occur during when the exit power is maximum. Yeah, so you will have the higher acceleration for the climbs. Yeah. Okay, this also cruise performance will be discussed in the flight performance. Okay, Bu Emma. Then I will explain about the story of the aircraft evolution, yeah, and inventors. Actually, the development of aircraft, yeah, since Wright brothers invention about the tandem of aircraft in 93, yeah. You can see this simple configuration aircraft with equipped with two wings and two propellers, connected by some wiring. And then in 1927, yeah, is more developed the aircraft with the one single straight wing with the three cycle landing gears and pusher propeller. Yeah, and in 1946, yeah, there is aircraft has been developed with the more higher speed, yeah, speed and more streamlined shapes of the aircraft. You can see here with the, but still has the straight wing, yeah, for the DC-4. Since 1969, yeah, the evolution of the aircraft becomes high speed aircraft here, high speed aircraft with the wing shape has the swept angles, yeah, shown by the Boeing 747, yeah, and the fuselage has the more streamlined shapes, yeah. And then in 1983, the fighter 117 is developed with the not aerodynamic shape, yeah, look like not in aerodynamic shapes because they like the plate, yeah, some plate is junction each other, yeah, and this is to avoid avoid the detection from the enemy, yeah, from the enemy. Also, in the speed of the aircraft becoming a lot higher, yeah, it's become supersonic. So the technology of the propulsion is also important in this development of the fighter 117. And then in 2000, the concept of the traveling commercial traveling aircraft here is introduced. Yeah, the concept of two-state to orbit, where the orbital state is put it over the carrier stage here, and then they take off, put together on take-off sites, and then climb, reach it at a certain location at about 35 until in stratosphere altitude, and the expiration and orbital state going to the higher altitude and with the carrier state back to the sites. And 2020, the evolution of the aircraft becoming streamlined is body or wing together. Yeah, this wing body integration, and also the propulsion. Yeah, you can see here the very streamlined streamlined aircraft has been developed to have the to fly very high altitude, with the energy usage. Okay, this is some contributor in aerodynamics. Sir Isaac Newton in 1987. This mathematician, physics, invent the fundamental fluid motion, momentum conservation law, and also introduced the Newton fluid, the relation between the shear stress and the profile, velocity profile in a boundary layer. How to calculate the shear stress? Is the gradient of velocity with respect to normal times the viscosity. In Daniel Bernoulli and Johann Bernoulli in 17th century, he is the Swiss mathematician and physicist. He introduced the understanding of the behavior of fluids concept on the internal pressure. And applying momentum principle to the infinitesimal fluid element. This is the Bernoulli. I think you have already known this. This familiar concept. The Bernoulli introduced the equation related for the flow fluid in the fluid domain, that there is no friction occur in the domain. And the Stokes and Navier, these different people, the Stokes in 1819 and Navier in 1839. This come from different country. Stokes is from the English and Navier from the French. Is the French mechanical engineer. They found the famous equation. There's complex equation. We call it the Navier-Stokes equation. We use the Navier-Stokes for solving many problems from the complex flow, including the viscous, compressible, and the rotational. The Stokes also will invent the creeping flows. Creeping flow. The flow where the velocity is very, very close to the zero. It's very smaller velocity. Less velocity. And the Navier introduced the theory of elasticity, Stokes theory, and Stokes law. Leonhard Euler, in 1755. Leonhard Euler proposed the first put the hydrodynamic on the firm mathematical base and deriving the Bernoulli equation. The Bernoulli equation based on the Bernoulli works. The equation, the Euler equation, become famous for in physics flow modeling. Lanchester in 1894, he developed the theory to predict aerodynamic behavior of the wings and analysis of the airplane stability. Tsiolkovsky, he introduced the analytical investigation of the behavior of the airfoil family. And then Louis Prandtl, mathematical formulation of three-dimensional wing theory, boundary layer concept. He proposed the boundary concept of the famous concept for the viscous flow. Okay, that's a story of the aircraft evolution and the contributor for the aerodynamic principle.
Pak Agus, can I add something?
Pardon, Bu Mak?
Can I add something, explain something?
Yeah, please, Bu.
About presence, please use EduNext and SEX. In EduNext, you should open module in week 1 so that you will be accounted as presence. That's the method in EduNext. And in SIX, it's like usual last semester. You just click your attendance. Okay, thank you, Pak.
Okay, we'll explain about the aircraft remote in this important thing, important part in this course, in the first course here. Yeah, I have already explained about the evolution of aircraft from the Wright brother aircraft until the modern aircraft Mavericks. Yeah, with the evolution explained to us that the configuration of the aircraft is changing with time. That the configuration can is developed for the more high speed of the aircraft, yeah, from the subsonic aircraft to the hypersonic aircraft. Okay, I will explain the important part of the important part of component of the aircraft. Yeah, first is fuselage. Yeah, fuselage is to accommodate the passenger or pilots. Yeah. Yeah, this for the commercial aircraft, and then cockpit. Yeah, cockpit is part of the aircraft that you want to put in the for the avionics system and also the pilots. Then wings. This is main part of the aircraft to produce the lift to overcome the weight. Yeah. Man of the lift is produced by the wing. Yeah. In the wings, here there's some control space. Yeah. And then within the next part of the next component of the aircraft is empennage. Empennage consists of the vertical and stabilizer, vertical and horizontal stabilizer. This empennage is to control of the motion of the aircraft, yeah, during flights. Yeah, you can see here this vertical stabilizer and horizontal stabilizer, and accompanied with the control space, yeah, and the engines, yeah, engine nacelle. And some control surface located on the wings. The wings, there is flaps, yes, flaps, inner and outer flaps, and also aileron. The function of flaps here is to produce additional lift during the takeoff and during the landing. Yeah, why? The flap is located at the inner of the wing. Can you answer my question? Why the inner, the flap is put it in close to the wing, too close to the fuselage? Halo?
Izin mencoba menjawab, Pak.
Ya.
Kalau untuk flaps-nya itu kan nanti akan berpengaruh kepada bertambahnya lift ya, Pak. Kalau
Ya.
misalkan dia ditaruh di luar, takutnya akan menambahkan momen gitu, Pak.
Oke, baik. Ya, benar sekali ya. Jadi kalau dia ditaruh di luar, ya, dia akan menghasilkan rolling moment, ya, sehingga dia ditaruh di flap itu diposisikan dekat dengan CG-nya untuk menghasilkan tambahan gaya angkat dengan efek dari kalau ada perbedaan kanan dan kiri, misalnya gitu ya, itu liftnya, penambahan lift itu tidak berpengaruh banyak pada rolling moment. Jadi you can see here the position of the flap is close to the fuselage, and the aileron is put it on the outer region of the wings. The function of the aileron is to produce the moment, rolling moment. The deflection between the right and left wing is in opposite direction. When the right wing is deflected to up, the left wing is deflected to the down. Okay, in front of the wing there is slats, leading edge slats. Leading edge slats. Do you know what the function of leading edge slats? Apa ada yang tahu fungsi dari leading edge di sini?
Izin menjawab, Pak.
Ya, siapa namanya?
Rifki, Pak.
Rifki.
Setahu saya untuk slats itu untuk menambah camber dari suatu sayap, Pak. Jadi menambah lift juga. Biasa dipakai untuk take off atau saat landing.
Oke, ya. Baik, sementara ini fungsi dari slat ini adalah juga menambah seperti flap ya, menambah gaya angkat ya. Nanti kita lihat perbedaannya apa antara fungsi flap dan slat ini ya di dalam pesawat saat terbang, saat take off sama landing. Okay, there is some control surface located on the vertical and horizontal. Yeah, for vertical stabilizer, the control surface here. This control surface to govern the motion of yawing moment. This control surface is called the rudder. Yeah, rudder is to control the yawing motion. Yeah. When the rudder is deflected to the right, what's happened with the motion of the aircraft? Kalau radarnya didefleksikan ke arah kanan, ya, ke arah sayap kanan gitu ya, apa yang terjadi dengan gerakan pesawat?
Hidung akan bergerak ke kanan, bukan, Pak? Ya,
dia akan bergerak, hidungnya akan berputar ke arah kanan ya, akan bergerak ke arah kanan. Yeah. So the rudder is important to control the yawing moment. And for the horizontal stabilizer, there is a control surface. It is called the elevator to govern the pitching motion of the aircraft. It is located far from the CG. From CG here to the CG is located around the wing of the aircraft. Yeah, the distance between the elevator and CG will give the moment. Yeah, pitching moment. And when the elevator deflected up, yeah, will produce the nose up motion of the aircraft. Okay, that's the component of the aircraft. I will discuss in more detail about this component. First is wing. Yeah, if you look here, there are several shapes of the wing. Yeah, wing here is to produce lift to overcome the weight. Yeah, you can see here the shape of the wing. The simple, simple wing is the straight wing. Yeah, straight wing is installed at the subsonic aircraft here. Yeah, subsonic aircraft. The conventional aircraft. Yeah, the aircraft you can see here. Yeah, usually the straight wing is to obtain the lift for the subsonic aircraft. Yeah. And when the aircraft fly at the higher speed, yeah, the shape of the wing is becoming look like the in the middle figures. Yeah, they have the swept angle, yeah, swept angle of the wing, swept back angle. Yeah. You can see this in the commercial Airbus aircraft here. This one, this wing has certain swept back angle, and there's also the aircraft, the fighter aircraft with the forward swept, yes, forward swept wing, and accompanied with the canards, yeah, canard in front of the main wing. Yeah. Do you know what is it? What the effect of the backward wing and forward wing? What the effect to the motion of the aircraft between the forward and backward wing? Oke.
Pak, boleh izin coba menjawab?
Iya, silakan.
Kalau setahu saya, kalau dia forward swept, itu dia jadinya itu cenderung lebih tidak stabil dibandingkan kalau misalkan lurus ataupun dia backward swept seperti itu. Dan itu jadinya itu digunakan di fighter ya, karena kan supaya memudahkan dia untuk bermanuver seperti itu, Pak. Itu yang saya tahu kalau untuk yang forward swept.
Oke, baik ya. Jadi masalah kestabilan ya, kestabilan untuk manuver ya, manuver. Ada yang lain bisa dijelaskan terkait dengan perbedaan kedua ini? Terkait dengan bagaimana dengan aliran yang terjadi di sayap itu?
Izin menjawab, Pak.
Ya.
Kalau di backwards swept itu main wingnya itu tuh juga karena dia lebih di depan daripada pusat gravitasinya dari pesawatnya, dia menghasilkan gaya torsi gitu, Pak, sehingga hidung pesawat tuh bakal mengarah ke bawah gitu, Pak. Makanya dibutuhkan sayap belakang gitu, Pak, yang tail wing itu untuk memberikan bikin gaya torsinya tadi itu dilawan gitu, Pak. Tapi kalau misalnya untuk yang reverse swept gini, karena dia itu tuh main lifting force-nya itu tuh sama dengan di pusat gravitasinya, maka dia nggak perlu sayap lagi tambahan di belakang untuk menstabilkan tadi itu, Pak. Oke,
ya, Mas. Jadi empennage-nya itu, ya posisi empennage ya untuk sayap swept back itu di belakang ya, sementara untuk forward swept itu dia di depan sebagai kanat ya untuk kestabilan ya. Kestabilan pesawat. Baik, ada lagi yang mau disampaikan, ada yang mau didiskusikan?
Pak, izin menambahkan, Pak.
Ya.
Kalau pesawat yang punya front swept itu aliran udaranya itu bergerak dari tip ke tengah pesawatnya. Jadi konfigurasi front sweep itu bakal lebih jarang mengalami wingtip stall daripada yang back sweep atau yang lurus, Pak.
Ya, bagus. Ya. Oke. Cukup ya kita diskusinya ya. Jadi masalah di stall tip ya. Oke, Pak. Saya lanjutkan dengan tadi sudah ini ya. Baik. Also there is some ships for the high speed aircraft for the supersonic aircraft the shape of the wing becomes delta wing such as the Concorde aircraft this is supersonic aircraft has the delta wing shapes. And also for the fighter some fighter has the movable wing in cruise until high speed transonic they have the arrangement of the wing in back or swept, and when in supersonic they swept back more during the in the supersonic. Could you explain, and maybe you can explain why supersonic use the delta wing such as Concorde? Maybe you can explain why delta wing is used for the supersonic. Bisa dijelaskan ya?
Izin menjawab, Pak. Kalau untuk bentuk delta wing itu dia lift rasionya paling bagus di zona supersonic gitu, Pak, dibanding transonic atau subsonic gitu, Pak.
Apanya tadi? Maaf, tadi agak nggak dengar. Apa yang lebih bagus?
Lift rasionya.
Lift rasionya.
Ya, lift rasio untuk geometri wingnya itu.
Yang dimaksud lift rasio apa ya? Lift rasio.
Apa sih?
Lift drag rasio atau apa?
Iya, lift drag rasionya, Pak, maksudnya.
Efisiensinya ya?
Iya.
Efisiensi lebih bagus ya?
Iya, Pak, kalau nggak salah.
Iya. Ada punya pendapat lain nggak? Any other opinions?
Sama ini, Pak, buat efisiensinya di subsonic masih cukup baik gitu, Pak, dibanding yang bentuk stepping yang emang cuma didesain buat supersonic gitu, Pak.
Yeah. Actually for the delta wing, has smaller aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is b square divided by area reference of the aircraft, of the wing. So when you have the delta wing, it means the aspect ratio is small. When we have the wing with the smaller aspect ratio, so the lift of a drag for the given lift of a drag is becoming a smaller swept. The aerodynamic efficiency is function of the aspect ratio. Function of the aspect ratio. It is better to have the straight wing rather than delta wing for the obtaining the higher aerodynamic efficiency. But the delta wing can have the higher maneuverability. With the small aspect ratio, this possible to have the high maneuverability. Also, on the small aspect ratio will produce the higher drag industry high industry. So actually the delta wing is better for the supersonic because the shock wave, the optic shock wave, produced by the nose of the aircraft will be swept back to the downstream, and the leading edge of the delta wing still inside of the line of oblique shockwaves. Yeah, if you have the wing with the lower swept back angle, and then the oblique shockwave across the wave across the leading edge of the wing, so will produce the higher drag due to the interaction between the oblique shockwave and the leading edge of the wing itself. So for the high speed, it's better to have the higher swept back angles. Yeah. The problem for the delta wing, with the delta wing where the aspect ratio is lower, the lift of CL alpha, the lift of the angle of attack CL alpha, yeah, is decreases, yeah, become lower. So if you have the CL alpha is lower, in order to obtain the adequate lift during the landing, yeah, so you should have the high angle of attack. Yes, you should have the high angle attack. This is why during the landing, yeah, from the Concorde aircraft, the nose of the cockpit, yeah, will be deflected to down in order to pilot to have the large view during the landing. Yeah, this is the reason. This is the reason when landing, the cockpit of aircraft is deflected to down. Oke, ada pertanyaan nggak mengenai ini? Any question?
Maaf Pak, ingin bertanya Pak.
Iya, silakan.
Nah, saya masih belum paham tadi Pak, kenapa Delta Wing ini lebih baik untuk supersonic daripada Delta.
Ya, ntar saya gambarkan ya supaya Anda paham. Anda punya fuselage sini. Ya, katakanlah Anda punya aliran. Yang bisa. Ini punya bentuk. Maka akan dihasilkan, ini bentuknya lancip. Akan dihasilkan wave. Ya. Semakin tinggi Mach number, atau semakin tinggi less speed, ya, ini akan semakin mengecil. Ya. Kalau Anda punya sayap, ya, sayap, katakanlah seperti ini ya, keluar sini, mengenai wave-nya ini, ya, ini akan menghasilkan drag yang besar. Ini. Ya. Sehingga desain dari supersonic aircraft wing usually have the highest swept angle. Yeah, but the highest swept angle, in order to have the bigger area, they make a delta wing. Yeah, delta wing. So the leading edge of the wing should be inside of this wave line, yeah, the oblique shock wave, to reduce the wave drag. Yeah. Okay, and why do we set the delta wing when the landing should deflected the nose, yeah, cockpit? This comparison between the straight wing and the CL, this CL, Yeah, this alpha. Yeah, for the CL alpha for the straight wing is like this one. Yeah, but for the delta has the lower slope. Yeah, gradient CL alpha. So for obtaining adequate lift, for example here, yeah, this is a lift required for landing. Yeah. So the aircraft should have the higher angle of attack. Yeah, yeah, higher angle of attack. So the angle of attack definition is you have the aircraft. Yeah, this is the body reference, and this is the direction of flight. Yeah, this for the landing. Yeah, this is angle of attack. Yeah, if you landing is like this one, then it's like this one. So this is the amount of angle of attack. So if you have the smaller angle of attack, it does not enough to lift the aircraft during the landing. Yeah, if in the position aircraft, the version of the vehicle is in horizontal. So the position, the attitude of the aircraft should have the higher higher steps, yeah, higher steps during landing. So during landing, the Concorde is deflected this cockpit to down, yeah, to have the wider vision for the pilot to front, yeah. Oke, jadi itu alasan kenapa Concorde itu ketika dia landing, itu dia mendefleksikan bagian kokpitnya supaya pilot itu bisa melihat ke depan ya secara luas gitu ya. Oke, ada yang mau didiskusikan lagi terkait dengan ini, dengan bentuk ini? The sayap. Jadi kalau untuk variable wing ini juga menarik ya untuk dilihat ya. Pada saat dia terbang transonic ya atau high subsonic, ya sibaknya seperti ini. Ya. Kemudian pada waktu dia terbang supersonic, dia sibaknya seperti ini. Ya. Ini adalah untuk menghindari adanya oblique shockwave yang terjadi pada kecepatan supersonik ya. Oke, cukup ya. Oke, saya lanjutkan. We will continue with the position of the wing. Yeah. If you look here, there are 3 positions of the wing located at the high position, and the mid for mounted and low mounted. Yeah. Okay. There is some consideration put at the up on the high, mid, and low. Yeah. Okay. Could you explain what was it? This is related with the reason of select the position of the wing is related with the stability of the aircraft. Yeah. Yeah, which one is more stable between these 3 position of the wing?
Izin jawab Pak.
Ya.
Yang paling the most stable and for the aircraft is the high mounted wing. So
high mounted wing, yeah. Why the high mounted wing become more stable?
Because its central gravity is lower.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. If any disturbance, yeah, on the high wing, if any disturbance, for example, the flow from right, yeah, here, you have the flow here, will be divided into up and down. Yeah, up and down. Okay. And what's happened when the flow is the visit disturbance from the right? Yeah, the wing will be back to the visit. It will be actually the visit, the aircraft will be moved to right in motion, rolling in the left here, the left wing, but the wing itself will be back to the initial position, the original position. Yeah. For the mid mounted wing, this is neutral. Yeah, neutral. But for the low wing, will have the low stability, so it can be good for the maneuver, yeah, for the low mounted wing. Okay, I continue with the geometry parameters. Yeah, this is the important parameters for the wings. Yeah, first is aspect ratio. Yeah, I have already mentioned the aspect ratio is b square of s area. Yeah, area is here is reference area. Yeah, for example, for this aircraft, yeah, the definition of the area is shown by the blue ones. Yeah, the wing region set it with the blue colors. Yeah, this is the area. This is with it across the fuselage region, yeah, fuselage part. Okay, for aspect ratio for the straight wing, we'll have the high aspect ratio. Yeah, high aspect ratio. Because if you look there in the equation here, in the definition of the aspect ratio, B over C. Yeah, B over C. If you have the large span with the certain large span with a certain mean aerodynamic chord here, so you will have the higher aspect ratio on the straight wing. But by increasing the swept angle, yeah, increasing the swept angle, the the length of the span of the aircraft becoming smaller. Yeah, smaller. And here the mean aerodynamic chord is becoming larger. So here for the delta will have the high aspect, lower aspect ratio. Okay, and this is a definition for the swept angle, yeah, at the quarter chord, yeah. So in the quarter chord, and here the quarter root chord, tip chord, yeah, and the taper ratio is defined by the ratio of the tip chord divided by the root chord. Okay.
Permisi Pak, izin
Ya,
bertanya.
silakan.
Fungsinya taper ratio dan sweep ratio itu apa ya Pak?
Taper ratio dan
sweep ratio.
Sweep ratio. Nggak ada sweep ratio ya? Bukan sweep.
Just sweep.
Sweep angle, sweep back angle ya.
Yeah.
Taper ratio. Taper ratio. Yeah. Okay. This comparison between the tip chord and root chord. Yeah. The good aerodynamic efficiency of the wing shape is elliptic. Yeah, elliptic wing. Elliptic wing. I cannot proper to elliptic wing. So the elliptic wing produce the minimum induced drag. This minimum induced drag. Minimum induced drag. Yeah, for the ships has the minimum induced drag. Yeah. So in order to approach these ships, yeah, approach these ships, so we can have the taper ratio. Yeah, taper ratio. This is a comparison ratio between tip and root. Yeah. So the value about the 0.3 until 0.4 taper ratio will produce the close to the elliptic wing. Yeah. This is the reason why the taper some wing is designed with the tip ratio close to the value of 0.3 or 0.4. This wing actually is more easy to be manufactured compared to the elliptic wing, yeah, elliptic wing, because it's more simple. But this one can produce the lower induced drag, the low induced drag with the taper compared to the straight wing. Okay, and then function of the swept angles, yeah, select this one. Yeah, this is I compare between the straight wing and swept. Yeah, I have the same condition for the fluid, the flow coming from the stream. Yeah, I can see. Oh, yeah, it's like this one. Okay, for the straight wing, yeah, you have the airfoil. Yeah, you have the airfoil is parallel to the flow direction. Yeah, and you have like this one. You have the airfoil like this one. Yeah, this is your flow. Yeah. And how about the swept wing? Swept wing, the arrangement of the airfoil is perpendicular to the leading edge swept. All the quarter swept. Yeah, your airfoil is like this one. It's like this one. Yeah. So the parallel of the flow incoming is like this one. Yeah. So you can have, yeah, you can have the mass number incoming to the airfoil is the moment. I cannot. This is normal. Oh, normal. This is the M. Yeah. So M N is equal to mass stream times the cos swept back angle. Cos swept angle. So if you have 30 degree swept angles, so the cos swept angle, or 60 for example, 60 degree swept angle. So your normal Mach number is half of the phase stream. Yeah. So when you have here Mach 1.8, for example, 1.8, so the normal Mach number is still 0.9. Yeah, so still subsonic. flow through the airfoil is the subsonic. Yeah, and normal. So by increasing the swept angles, the normal Mach number through the airfoil is still is lower. Yeah. Increasing the swept angle, the lower Mach to the airfoil. Okay, this is the reason why the swept angle is used for the high-speed aircraft here. Oke, ada pertanyaan lagi?
Berarti swept angle digunakan pada pesawat yang berkecepatan tinggi. Terus bagaimana dengan taper ratio-nya Pak? Itu kan mempengaruhi tadi apa namanya?
Separasi ya? Stall ya?
Iya gitu Pak. Taper ratio-nya itu kan mempengaruhi juga dalam bentuk swept wing gitu Pak.
Ya. Jadi benar ini separasi aliran terjadi di sini. Ya. Kalau di swept angle separasi aliran terjadi, sehingga akan berpengaruh pada control surface aileron ya. Pada aileron. Ini gimana cara mengantisipasi ini? Ya, pertanyaan bagaimana cara mengantisipasi ya tips stall ini? Ya, supaya efektivitas dari control surface aileron ini dapat bekerja dengan baik ya. Ini menggunakan parameter berikutnya yang dikenal dengan twist ya. Twist. Bisa menjelaskan kenapa twist bisa mengurangi tip stall? Oke, kita lihat ya. Let's look at this CL alpha graph. CL.
Maaf Pak, tadi pertanyaannya apa?
Kenapa? Kan tadi kan tip stall ya, ada tip stall di daerah sini untuk swept wing ya. Ada separasi, ada pelepasan aliran ya. Alirannya lepas ya di daerah sini sehingga control surface-nya untuk aileron tidak efektif ya. Tidak bekerja secara efektif. Nah, untuk menghindari adanya pelepasan aliran di bagian tip ini, apa yang dilakukan? Itu kan, apa yang harus diantisipasi? Supaya nanti control surface-nya itu bisa bekerja secara efektif. Kan tadi beda kalau yang forward swept itu separasi terjadi di bagian dalam ya. Kalau yang swept back itu separasi itu stall akibat ini ya, flow separation terjadi di bagian luar ya, dulu kemudian masuk ke dalam ya.
Iya Pak.
Nah ini dengan cara melakukan twist out ya, twist out. Jadi kalau Anda lihat di sini ya, Anda lihat di grafik ini katakanlah suatu airfoil atau ini. Di bagian luar sayap itu sudah terjadi separasi sini. Ya, separasi. Gimana caranya untuk menghasilkan supaya nggak terjadi stall katakanlah di sini, supaya nggak terjadi stall. Ya, ini digeser ke sana. Sudutnya digeser ke sini ya, ke arah bawah, lebih rendah. Gimana caranya merubah supaya sudutnya lebih rendah dengan teknik ini? Ya.
Kalau izin menjawab Pak, kalau semisal ada geometric twist itu kan berarti yang ujung itu kayak angle of attack yang di grafiknya itu kan kayak berbeda sama yang di root. Jadinya dia nanti apa awal misalnya ketika nolnya pesawat sama ketika misal si pesawatnya 0 angle of attack, maka angle of attack pertama yang dialami oleh si yang di root sama yang di tip kan beda. Jadinya nanti grafik CL-nya yang di tip itu bakal lebih geser. Jadinya dia tuh kayak sedikit menunda wing tip stall, pelepasan aliran di tip itu, Pak.
Ya, betul. Yeah, in this we call it this geometric twist. Yeah, you have the same airfoil along the span. Yeah, you just twist it. We say the outer airfoil at the tip. Yeah, this out. Yeah, is dipuntir ke arah bawah. Yeah. Cara lain adalah bisa dilakukan dengan membuat airfoil yang berbeda sepanjang span. Ya, namanya aerodynamic twist. Ya, aerodynamic twist. Dengan membuat variasi airfoil ini, diharapkan airfoil di luar ini itu tidak stall ya pada sudut tertentu nantinya ya. Dengan ini, jadi kita rubah ininya, rubah karakteristik dari bentuk airfoilnya misalnya. Namanya aerodynamic twist. Oke, jelas ya? Oke, dihedral. Ya, dihedral angle. Dihedral angle is the position of the wing is different between tip and the root. Yeah. Is different position, so you will make the certain angle. So this we call it this dihedral angles. Yeah. So it's folks. This is for the stability. They will affect to the stability of the aircraft here. The dihedral angle. Okay, any question concerning the parameter of geometry of the aircraft on the wing?
Saya bertanya, untuk yang bagian dihedral itu bentukan ke atas, Pak. Berarti bukannya akan lebih riskan mengalami wing tip stall gitu, Pak?
Gimana?
Yang bagian dihedral itu bukannya akan mengalami riskan lebih akan wing tip stall, wing stall?
Kenapa akan mengalami stall? Ini gimana cara ini? Kenapa stallnya bisa terjadi?
Bukannya itu akan lebih mudah melepaskan aliran pada bagian ujungnya, Pak, kalau bentuknya begitu, Pak?
Enggak ya, sebetulnya. Bukan dari sisi stall speed ya, stall aspiration flow ya, atau stall ya. Ini adalah terkait dengan kalau ada gangguan kecepatan. Jadi ada gangguan kecepatan side slip gitu ya, katakanlah gini ya. Ini kan bisa dikomposisi menjadi dua komponen ya, komponen ke arah aksial sama komponen ke arah lateral ya. Kalau ada gangguan side slip ya, ini kan sudut beta gitu ya, ada gangguan. Maka dia akan ada komponen aliran ke arah sini. Ya, komponen aliran ke arah sini. Nah, pertanyaannya apakah dengan gangguan ini itu dengan sudut dihedral bisa mengembalikan kepada posisi semula? Ada dua tujuan. dibuat dihedral supaya mudah manuver. Ya, bisa juga untuk mudah manuver ya, untuk pesawat tempur ya. Atau membuat pesawat itu menjadi lebih stabil. Gitu. Kalau kena gangguan angin samping. Oke, ya.
Oke, Pak. Terima kasih, Pak.
Ya. Sekarang masuk ke berapa semuanya? Lift and drag ya. Definition of lift and drag. Lift is and drag is vector ya. Vector. Lift direction is perpendicular to the wind direction or the direction of flight. Yeah, direction of flight. If you have the aircraft, the direction of flight is like in that direction. So the lift is perpendicular to the direction of the aircraft or the direction of the incoming flow. Yeah, for the aerodynamic side, on the aerodynamic view, and the flow is incoming to the aircraft, and the lift is perpendicular to the direction of the flow. Yeah, and the drag is normal as parallel to the direction of flight or direction of the flow incoming flow. Yeah. So the angle of drag is the angle between the body reference, yeah, this body reference chord line with respect to the direction of the flight. And this is angle of drag. So if you have the aircraft, for example, yeah, this is the aircraft, yeah, and this aircraft as the chord line is like this one, and flat in that direction. How much the angle of drag should be? How much the aircraft, the angle of drag on this aircraft? Berapa sudut serang dari pesawat yang dia terbang ya ke arah tertentu sana dan dia sejajar dengan ini, dengan bodinya. Ya, sudutnya akan 0 ya. Sudut serangnya akan sama dengan 0 ya. Ya, kalau Anda punya pesawat ya, dia punya sebentar. Sana. Dia punya outline seperti ini, kemudian terbangnya ke arah sana, ya, terbangnya ke arah sana, maka dia akan punya sudut serang besar ini, alfa. Itu definisi dari alfa ya. Dan lift itu tegak lurus terhadap arah terbang, ya, drag sejajar dengan arah terbang. Sehingga pada waktu landing, pesawatnya dia horizontal gini ya. Horizontal dia pesawatnya. Tapi arah terbangnya ke bawah sana. Ya. Dia punya sudut serang dia. Walaupun dia terbang horizontal ya, dia punya sudut serang. Karena arah terbangnya ke arah bawah dia. Ini alfanya. Pada saat landing. Jelas ya ini ya. Oke, pada waktu take off biasanya ya dibuat sudutnya kecil, relatif kecil ya. Relatif kecil. Jadi kecil ya, antara sudut body ini dan arah terbangnya. Biasanya diset dari thrust-nya. Arah thrust-nya dari propeller atau propulsion-nya itu dia punya sudut tertentu terhadap bodinya itu ya. Atau bisa juga ya bisa terhadap itu. Punya sudut kecil ya. Sehingga pada waktu take off itu, pada waktu take off shootingnya kecil, dia untuk memberikan gaya tambahan dia defleksikan flapnya. Ya. Drag-nya kecil pada waktu take off ya, tidak butuhkan drag besar ya karena dia akan boros pada waktu take off kalau sudah besar. Kalau landing dia butuh deselerasi ya, landing ya, deselerasi sehingga dia lakukan pada sudut yang cukup besar ya, tapi belum sampai stall. Kalau terlalu besar nanti akan stall dia ya. Sehingga untuk menghindari stall itu dia defleksikan flapnya dan defleksikan slatnya. Nanti akan kita bahas ya. Kenapa flap slat ini defleksikan terutama pada waktu landing ya. Oke, saya lanjutkan ya. Ini wing two-dimensional lift coefficient. Lift can for the two-dimensional you should write the CL, yeah, C with small l for two-dimensional, yeah, small l. For three-dimensional, C with capital L for three-dimensional. On the aircraft you should write like this one. On the airfoil you should write the C lift coefficient C with subscripts L. Yeah. So for the lift coefficient of the airfoil is lift divided by half density V square. Yeah, density V square. This is, we call it, this one is dynamic pressure. Yeah, dynamic pressure. Dynamic pressure. Pressure times the area, yeah. But area here is for the two-dimensional is represented by the chord length. Yeah, chord length. Dynamic pressure times the chord length is CL. Yeah. This is the characteristic of the airfoil, CL alpha. Yeah, CL alpha. Yeah. Yeah. You can see here on the symmetric airfoil. Yeah, symmetric airfoil. At the, if you have the symmetric airfoil, yeah, symmetric airfoil, yeah, flow incoming at angle of attack 0 through upper and lower is in same distance. Yeah, so the pressure distribution on the upper and lower surface is same. So at the zero angle of attack, the lift is equal 0. Yeah. And by increasing the angle of attack, yeah, so the upper surface has the minimum pressure, the lower surface has the higher pressure. So we will produce the lift here. Lift. So by increasing the angle of attack, the lift is increasing. Yeah. Okay, at the certain higher angle of attack, here, yeah, here. The lift is decreases. Yeah, decreases. This we call it the stall condition. Yeah. There is a region where the lift CL alpha is constant. Yeah, CL slope is constant. Yeah, CL alpha is constant. We call it this linear. Yeah, linear region. So we can write here. Yeah, CL is A is CL alpha, yeah, CL alpha, times the alpha, yeah, that's the alpha for the linear region, but it cannot apply in this in higher angle of attack because the converter is not linear. Yeah. For the camber airfoil, yeah. The camber airfoil. Yeah, there is a flow through the camber airfoil. So the minimum pressure at the zero angle of attack, minimum pressure is occur in the upper region compared to the lower region. So at the zero angle of attack, lift, there is a lift, a certain amount of lift, yeah, on the camber airfoil. and the zero lift angle of attack as zero lift is occur at the minimum angle of attack. The negative, not the minimum, negative angle of attack. Yeah. Negative angle of attack. It's negative. Okay, and then this can be read as CL is A times the alpha plus CL 0. Yeah, CL 0. Live at zero angle of attack. Yeah. This one should be, yeah, given zero. Any question? Ada pertanyaan nggak?
Pak, mohon maaf. Itu yang di CL sama dengan A kali alfa, A-nya tadi apa, Pak?
A-nya slope ya, slope ini. Slope itu adalah DCL, di gradient, di alpha, atau dituliskan di alpha, atau dituliskan sebagai CL alpha. Ya, CL alpha.
Terima kasih, Pak.
Sama dengan A. Sekarang pertanyaan saya, kalau dia negatif camber, kira-kira kurvanya seperti apa ya? Negatif camber. Jadi negatif camber itu kira-kira bentuknya, cambernya akan garis tengah ini ya. Tengahnya ini ya. Ya. Negatif camber berarti bentuknya seperti ini. Gitu ya. Kurvanya seperti apa ya kira-kira ya?
Izin mencoba menjawab, Pak.
Ya.
Untuk yang negatif, mungkin 0 CL-nya berada di angle of attack yang positif.
Ya. Ya di sini negatifnya. Apa di CL 0 ya? CL sama dengan 0 ya di sini. Kurvanya seperti ini. Nah. Baik, saya lanjutkan ya. Empennage ya. Empennage is the tail assembly of the airplane which consists of the horizontal tail and vertical tail. Purpose of the empennage is to provide stability and control of the airplane for both pitch and yaw. Vertical stabilizer itu untuk yaw, ya. Kemudian horizontal stabilizer untuk pitch. Okay, if the horizontal tail is ahead of the wings, call it the scanner. Yeah. And there is several various tail shapes here. V-tail, yeah. V-tail, and the mounted tail. Slot. Okay, for the V-tail, yeah, V-tail, they have a function. For the will produce the vertical and horizontal forces here. So which is actually the forces like this one on the filter. So if we decompose, it will make like this one. Detail, yeah, detail located at the upper, which is the aerodynamic center here. with location compared to the CG, aerodynamic velocity, compared to the CG. It will have the distance in vertical direction. Yeah, so it will produce the moment, yeah, in moment if this drag in that direction, yeah, will produce the moment. We put in the, but the advantage of the detail, yeah, is to have the more effective elevator, yeah, elevator, because with it at the quite high modern angle of attack will produce the upwards, yeah, upwards. It may be influenced to the vertical horizontal stabilizer, and then the effectiveness of the horizontal stabilizer become is decreases between the upwards. So if the horizontal stabilizer put it at the lower position, it might be in the the effectiveness of the tail will be reduced. Okay, canard, yeah, Venice canard is located in front of the wing. Yeah, canard can be moved, all movable, yeah, movable to produce the stability control. The advantage of the canard, yeah, if we put it more higher than wing, yeah, it will produce the tip vortex, yeah, tip vortex. And this tip vortex occur in the upper of the wing, yeah, will get the benefit on the lift of the wing. It produces more more lift, yeah, when the induced flow, vortex flow occur in the upper region of the wing. Well, this is why at the higher angle of attack, yeah, it's still stable using the canard, yeah, because they produce the more additional lift, yeah, on the wing. Okay, and minutes, yeah. What time is it now? 15 minutes more. Horizontal tail consists of the fixed part and the movable parts. We call it this elevator. Yeah, entire horizontal tail contribute to stabilize aircraft, but only the elevator provides the control of pitch. Yeah, is elevator. So control surface when the pitching moment is elevator. When the elevator deflected to down, yeah, to down, will generate the lift to upward, yeah, with respect to the CG, yeah, will give the pitch down, yeah. This is the lift when the deflected to the down, the water with respect to CG will produce the nose down of the aircraft. But if deflected to up, yeah, will be produce the nose up. Vertical tail is rudder on the control in the motion. This is the rudder. Yeah. Rudder, the position is rudder here will produce the side force, yeah, side force. When deflected to the right, it will produce the side force. With respect to the CG, will produce the yawing moment. Okay, and then the entire vertical tail contribute to the stabilized aircraft, but only rudder, right? Okay. The trim tabs. Do you know what's the function of trim tabs? And which location trim tab should look like? Di mana lokasi ditempatkan trim tab itu? Ya, trim tadi ditempatkan di sini. Anda bisa lihat ini. Di sini kemudian ada trim tadi di ini ya. Misalnya di horizontal ya, lebih banyak di horizontal. Jadi ketika kondisi pesawat dalam kesetimbangan, kondisi pesawat dalam kondisi setimbang, ya itu usaha dari pilot kecil ya, dia bisa lepas kendalinya pada kondisi kesetimbangan, yaitu dengan mengatur konsep trim tag ini. Oke, fuselage ya. This fuselage for the Airbus ya. This Airbus aircraft, this Boeing has the upper deck ya, upper deck. This one is the wing fuselage blended aircraft, yeah. Integrated between the fuselage and wing. Okay. Okay, landing gear. Yeah. There are many types of landing gears. Is such as single main landing gear, yeah. Recycle, yeah. But this actually for this arrangement of landing is not stable on this one. Yeah. Stable one is the tricycle. This one, yeah, tricycle is more stable compared to the arrangement of landing gears successful. Okay, there is some instrument panel used in the aircraft, yeah, such as the altimeter for the altitude, airspeed indicator, yeah, for measuring the airspeed, tachometer for engine RPM, yeah, and propeller, chronometer for the time, for the determine the time, artificial horizontal turn back indicator using the gyro device, and DMA, yeah, measuring from the position aircraft to the ground, yeah, automatic direction finder, yeah, to the direction of the aircraft, yeah, for navigation, and the magnetic compass. Okay, I think it's enough today. Any question? Pertanyaan nggak?
Permisi Pak.
Ya.
Boleh mau tanya Pak yang tentang landing gear. Tadi itu kan yang dibilang Bapak bilangnya tuh yang paling stabil itu tricycle. Nah itu kenapa Pak? Kemudian terus kenapa kalau yang pesawat lama, kalau yang kayak saya lihat kan kayak pesawat Dakota atau itu cenderungnya tuh pakai tail dragger yang model ada di atasnya di baris kedua kalau tidak salah. Terima kasih Pak.
Sudah. Masih kelihatan ya ini ya presentasinya atau hilang?
Saya hilang Pak.
Ya, kalau Anda perhatikan kenapa ini lebih stable ya? Anda bisa lihat sebetulnya posisi CG ya, sisi CG. Kemudian kalau dia sebetulnya kan kontrol gerak dari pesawat itu diatur oleh roda depan ya. Roda belakang itu mengikutinya, kontrolnya ya. Saya melihat bahwa dengan tricycle ini ketika dia bergerak ke depan itu ya, Itu saya belum buktikan, tapi mungkin Anda pernah main itu ya, main apa yang di supermarket itu ya. Kan ada yang didesain dengan roda 3 itu ya. Roda 3. Ketika Anda luncurkan gitu, itu akan desainnya akan bagus kalau bentuknya tricycle gitu ya. Roda depan itu 1, kemudian belakang 2 gitu ya. Dibandingkan roda 2 depan di roda belakang 1 ya. Itu yang bisa kita amati. Oke ya. Oke, saya stop ini. Oke, saya akan jelaskan sedikit sebagian di hari itu saya. Oke, baik. Saya akan aircraft performance ya. Jadi aircraft performance discussed about the performance aircraft during flights. Yeah. The profile of flight profile consists of the takeoff, landing, takeoff, climb, cruise, yeah, and descent, also landing. Yeah. The flight aircraft performance talking about this condition during flight, what speed required for takeoff here, and what's the speed and power required during the climbs. Yeah, what was it the attitude of aircraft during flight to get the best and or the optimum climb. Yeah, and then cruise condition is determined by the lift track component of the aerodynamic efficiency aerodynamic, and also the performance of the aircraft during lift range and endurance is influenced by the ratio of the weight between the initial and the final condition during flights. Yeah, this is due to the how much fuel is used during the flight. Yeah, and then the condition of the propulsion. Yeah, propulsion. How much the fuel consumption used for the aircraft. And okay, we will discuss for a little bit for the aircraft performance. Aircraft performance is we should know about the coordinate system used on the flight performance. These are the difference from the coordinate system used for the flight performance and aerodynamic. For the flight performance, the positive direction for the axial X, is go forward. This is positive X, and then the positive way in positive Y in the right wing direction, and then the positive G, G is using the right hand rule. This position is in the down direction. So the moment for the aircraft is related with this line. When the positive rolling moment, it will be in the direction with the moment at the axis, the X positive axis. That's the positive rolling moment. And then the positive pitching moment, this is in the Y positive, and the rotation in Y axis positive. And the yawing moment is positive when rotation in Z positive. So this is the definition for the positive in flight dynamic, flight motion. Flight motion. Okay, for the aerodynamic is rather different. The positive aerodynamic X is in backward direction, in the rear direction. And with the positive Y in the right wing direction, and the positive Z in upward direction on the aerodynamic coordinate system. Okay, there's some symbol, some parameter used for the axis here. Small, the axis is use the small letter X, Y, Z, and the forces is using the capital letters X, Y, Z in capital, and the linear velocity along axis is the small letters, U, V, and W, and on the angular velocity about axis is in the capital P, Q, R, and the aerodynamic moment about the axis is the L, M, N, and the angular displacement about the axis is V, theta, and omega, and so on. So on the aircraft, the motion has the 6-degree of freedom, 3 in translation and 3 in rotation. Rotation with the angular range about the X, Y, Z axis is called the rolling, pitching, and yawing moment. Rolling, pitching, and yawing moment. The rolling moment can be produced by the motion of the control surface of aileron, and upon the yawing moment using the rudder, and the pitching moment by using the control surface of the elevator. Okay, the analysis of aircraft motion can be split into 2 modes. One is in longitudinal motion, the other is lateral directional motion. In the longitudinal motion, the motion aircraft is in 10 symmetry. a plane of symmetry linear motion in XZ axis. Rotation is in Y axis. So you will have the motion in X direction and in Z direction. Yeah. In translation in X direction or in Z direction. Ya.
Lanjut
Apa?
ke mata kuliah aero, Pak.
Oh iya, betul. Ya, lateral motion, linear motion in Y direction, Y axis, and rotation in X and Y axis. Yeah. Okay, I think it's enough to div. I stop here. Yeah, because it's already 5 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Okay, I stop recording.